So if I was to time travel, let's say a year and a half ago, to tell myself how to build an agency again from zero and actually do it the correct way and save me all that time I spent correcting myself and learning from my mistakes, this video is exactly how I do that, right? So my name is Joe. I'm 19 years old. I've scaled my agency to 40 grand a month in the last year. Still have active clients all around Canada. And I can't tell you how many mistakes I've gone through over a year and a half of building an agency. I didn't know sales. I didn't know how to book any appointments. I didn't know what niche to choose. This is exactly what I'm going to tell you in this video. So even if you're at like 5 grand a month with your agency right now and you need some advice to get to 50, or you're at 0 and you're looking to get to 10, this video can apply to you. So let's get into it. What is the best niche? Because in the agency game, you always hear people talking about, what niche do I go into? How do I make sure I'm going into the correct niche, right? And there is no binary answer here. It is, what are you most experienced with? Have you worked with a landscaper in the past? Have you worked with a real estate agent? Is your family real estate agents? It's exposure and familiarity to the niche, which is going to be the best niche. So it is at an individual level, not a collective level, right? So if there was a best niche, every single person on earth would be going into that niche. And then if every single person was going into it, it wouldn't be the best niche anymore. So you have to realize and look at your life and go, what do I have the most experience with? I went to the gym niche because I've been going to the gym for 6 years. I know how they get customers. I see advertisements all the time. That was my first agency. And I realized it truly wasn't the best niche. And the best niche for me was solving my appointment booking issues and transitioning to a different niche a few months later. And that's the agency that I made succeed. And again, there's trade-offs with that niche too, right? As an example, the gym niche is on the harder side to book appointments, right? And actually sell people. But on the other hand, it's super easy to deliver. With real estate agents, super easy to book appointments, right? You can sit down and cold call for 100 dials and you can book 5 to 10. But at the same time, the service delivery for real estate agents is horrendous. Everybody in the real estate niche has got scammed by an agency. That's the worst part about the real estate niche. So there's going to be trade-offs in business, and you have to realize there's no correct way to do anything. There is, what is the most correct? There's trade-offs. That's all it is. In business, you're looking to pick a niche, you're looking to do this type of outreach message. It's just trade-offs, and you have to kind of look, what are they going to resonate with the most, right? So quick tip, if you're not familiar with your niche, right? If I told you the best niche is going to be the one you're most familiar with, how do you become familiar with a niche? Right? How do you get exposure to the niche so you know how to tailor your offer to them, how to communicate with, how to script your outreach messages? Because you have to clearly define your avatar. The first thing you should do when you're creating an offer is know who you're offering it to. The more niched down the offer actually is, usually it's the most attractive. That's why agencies who niche into gyms, niche into real estate and landscaping, usually do better than the ones who do an all-in-one solution to every single niche. And that's because they have to learn a new way to deliver for their clients with every single niche they go into. With every single niche they look at, they have to come up with a new system versus you pick one niche, you have one solution to their problem, you craft that offer off of the solution you're providing, right? And then every single client you get, you can continue to optimize the offer and the service delivery off of that niche itself. And once you find a winning ad, once you find a winning pricing for that niche, you can use it for every single client. And then once you find the winning ad, the winning deliverable for each client, you can then apply it to all of your clients. This is exactly what Alex Ramosi did with Gym Launch. They had a department where they're spending like some ridiculous number, right? I'm pulling this out, but it was like 100K or 50 or something like insane, might be 300, on testing advertising for the gyms every single month. That's what made their offer so good, because they were testing this actively when no other agency that would come in would be willing to spend all of these thousands of dollars on testing new advertising for their new clients to use. So the more you niche down, the more you're familiar, the more you can resonate with the niche, get them emotional because it's exactly what they want, the better. And it's going to be really hard giving them exactly what they want if you're not niche down enough. If you're serving 5 niches, it's probably just not going to work. And just quick tip, by the way, people always go, what if this niche is saturated? Every single person in the world when I was in real estate told me, how do you make it work in a saturated niche? And if you show me a company that's taking up like 80% of the market share, if I have none of the market left, prove me wrong then. Like, find a way to prove to me that there's not a growing market every single year that can be reached out to, and there's not a monopoly of the agencies. It's just absolutely foolish. And even these big companies at 50, 100 grand a month still think they're limited by market share when they need to go in a different direction and go horizontally. They need to reach out in different forms. They need to run different ads. They need to do different targeting. They need to mix it up a little bit. But the niche is there. The volume of people is always there, by the way. You are always going to have millions of new real estate agents entering the North American market every single year. And I knew that. Still know that. I still tell people that. So you're not going to find an issue with saturation. The issue you'll find is standing out and being different than the competition. That's just super, super honest, right? It's very difficult to talk to agents, or you can say SMA clients, potential prospects in general, when they've been scammed before or burned by an agency. And the thing you do there is build trust and build your separation from that company that you had previously or that system they used. So you need to somehow make yourself stand out in the market. And I said this in my last video, but Naval said the way you get rich or the way you get wealthy is giving what people want and need at scale. You have to think about that. Saturation is not going to be a thing. It's not going to be a problem for you. You have to be different. And if it is a problem, you just have to be better. Done. So next, super simple stuff. If you're a beginner agency owner or you're, let's say, intermediate and you don't have this memorized yet, please memorize it. It's amazing. There's 4 ways to get new customers. There is cold outreach, warm outreach, ads, and content. Let's start with cold outreach. Cold means the lead has never engaged with you before. They've shown it no interest. You're reaching out to them for the first time. This can be through DMs, email, cold calling, and it's one-to-one. It is you reaching out to them personally, or a member of your team reaching out to them personally, letting them know that you have something to offer them. The reason it's called cold is because they've never heard about you before. When you go to warm outreach, it is a person that has shown interest or you have talked to before. You have a degree of familiarity to that person. So you can, as an example, open your contact list and see if you have any real estate agents or any gym owners that you've talked to before. Just message them. That's warm outreach. Cold is the cold calling where you're, hey, look, I'm Joe from Estate Launch, and I can promise you X, Y, Z in 90 days on zero risk paid results. That's a cold call. So super simple stuff. This is just how you do outreach. This is how you let customers know that you have something to offer them. So we went through cold and warm outreach. Next is running paid ads, right? And this is, again, permissionless. All of these things are permissionless mainly, except for content, where they click on the video, etc. But paid ads is phenomenal because all you need to do is record the video once and run the ad, maybe do some editing on it, and it's unbelievably high leverage. And I'm gonna put some nuances into this conversation here. When should you run ads? I'm a big believer that you can do outreach and do warm, cold outreach at any time as a beginner agency owner. I think you should do it right away, honestly. Like, sooner the better. The sooner you talk to the people in your niche as much as possible is going to be absolutely ideal. On the other hand, with paid ads, it's very risky when you're a beginner, and that's just my honest opinion. I don't think you should do it until a few reasons. One, you know that you're going to make that return on investment by closing clients. So you've closed clients already, which means you're probably at a few grand a month, 5-10 grand a month maybe. 2, you actually have to know that you're going to deliver. Like, why are you offering something you don't know how to deliver yet? And if you don't know how to deliver, you're doing a pay and results offer where most, if not all, of your payout is going to be on the back end after getting them results. Don't do something for free where they don't pay you at all. Don't do that. Don't just work for free. Do it on commission. Do it per appointment. Do it per lead. I've done a video in the past where I break down how to do the offer. I can probably put in the description or the comments, something like that. But literally, just do warm and cold outreach until you get your first few clients and you start knowing the metrics and the KPIs on you closing the clients. So are you closing at 5-10%? Because if you're getting, then you know, if you're getting a sales call from an ad at $10 a sales call and you have a 20% close, you then know that it's going to take you 5 sales calls to close, and that is $50 for 5 sales calls. So $50 then equals 1 close, which that one client, you have to calculate how much money you're going to make per client, is going to make you 5 grand over 90 days. That's an example. And if you're a beginner, you might be listening to this. This is a lot of information. How do I deal with this? Put the videos back, run the video back, slow it down, run the video back, slow it down, and literally just calculate these numbers, because you probably won't even know these numbers until you take 30-40 sales calls, right? There's people all the time, Joe, how do I know how long it's going to take to get 10 grand a month? And they have good intentions, but at the same time, I can't guess that. Do you have sales experience? Do you have any business experience? I know I went for 40, 50 sales calls without closing a client. That's because I knew nothing about business. I learned the hardest way possible, really. I know one of my best friends, he closed his first 2 clients, and that was because he had a previous sales job. So before giving you any fixed answer with, Joe, when am I gonna be at 10 grand a month? Joe, when do I get my first client? How many sales calls? I can't give you that answer. I need to know your situation. And even if I knew your situation, I can't guess that perfectly for you, right? I can only give you an estimate, which is probably still gonna be wrong, man. Like, nobody knows. If they give you an answer firmly that you're gonna close a client in X amount of sales calls, it's not true. So we know how to increase the likelihood of this by doing as much cold and warm outreach as we possibly can to get started. Then, what I would tell people to do, once you know you can deliver, you're probably getting a few performance deals in the back end. You're making 3 to 6, 3 to 10 grand a month. You can then start looking into running paid advertisements for yourself. If you can handle more sales calls on your calendar, you now know how to run ads because you've done lead gen for your clients. If you're doing a lead gen agency, you then can run ads for yourself to then further your leverage. You can then increase leverage by running more ads. You can start making some content. And let's get into content now. This is, again, part of the core 4. You can either warm, cold, ads, content. This one is a bit iffy. I'm gonna be honest. For local businesses, it's a bit iffy. And the best way I can put it about content is that it is a nurturing mechanism, not an attraction mechanism. So content is very good for local businesses after, as an example, you reach out to them on a cold call, you book that Calendly appointment in your calendar. They go to research your company, or you send them your Instagram or something like that, and they see 50 reels with you with other real estate agents. They see 50 reels with you delivering value to them. They see you with famous people. It's a great nurture mechanism. So when they're on your sales call and you're selling to them, they are getting warmed up to close. So if you've solved all their problems before they actually get on your sales call, then it's a very high likelihood that that person's going to close. It is very rare from my experience that you get sales calls and attract sales calls effectively for local businesses. It's just a rare scenario. I've never seen it work amazing. And I can say for your audience, you have to again define your avatar. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you haven't defined your avatar, where they're at, are they on LinkedIn, are they on Instagram, are they on cold calls, you won't know what channels to use. And this is up to you to do your own research. I have a full sheet on doing niche selection. It's in the description. It's a free group. Just get the sheet where you can research the hell out of your niche, understand their problems, and then form an offer for it. But if you don't know that, you won't know how to do this thing. Like, as an example, you're probably an agency owner watching this thing. You probably are, or you're a coach, something like that. And I obviously make these videos to help agency owners and give them value. That's why I'm on YouTube. I wouldn't be on X or something probably right now. That's the reason I'm on YouTube. It's a platform specific thing. Because I know you guys are probably on YouTube trying to learn things. Same with your niche. Look where your niche is. Reach out to them on there. And if you can attract customers on that platform, sure. From what I've seen, it's just nurturing, right? So you can easily close after they go through content from you. And quick tip, I know I'm rambling here, but the pre-call video is something I implement for my agency. So it's a VSL that gets sent before they book a sales call with you, before that sales call itself. So they have to watch that video. I make it mandatory. And as I said about content being a nurturing system, that video is a nurture system. So one, they're getting exposed to me on that pre-call video. So they're listening to me talk. They're building trust as they watch that video. I am very tactically handling their objections on that pre-call video before they hop on the sales call with me, so that their questions and their objections that they're going to ask are already handled, so I don't have to deal with them. And three, they already know my guarantee. They know exactly what I do, and they know exactly who this program is for. So if they're not fit for the program, they can just cancel the call and say, hey Joe, I'm not this X realtor. I'm not this type of landscaper. I can't work with you. And then I don't have to waste 20 minutes on a sales call, and they can just go. So yes, that's just an example of a nurturing system with content. That's exactly what I do. I wouldn't make reels to attract real estate agents. I would make reels to nurture real estate agents, right? If I was starting my agency from zero, I would probably deliver some value on Instagram and nurture people, but that wouldn't be to attract them. It's just highly unlikely, right? And let's quickly cover service delivery because it's super important. And most people in a video like this probably would go, yeah, get clients $5,000 a month in a month, but just scam all your clients and don't worry about their service. It's ridiculous. So I would like to run through quickly some things you could do for service delivery. I've done a 70-minute video on service delivery for Facebook ads, so if that interests you, if you're doing lead gen for local businesses, just watch that. It's a lot of value for you. But in the meantime, you need to get as much exposure to running advertising as much as possible. And that is one of the best skills right now, is learning how to target and run advertising. It is one of the most leveraged things you can do, because if you put in $25 into a system that you have systematized and actually very leveraged, and you know that it's going to run a specific way, $25 can turn into 1,000 as an example. So you have to realize, once you crack ads, it's great. And then once you crack ads for your clients, you apply that to all your other clients, you get a crap ton of testimonials, you then can charge more, you then can promise something, you then have fantastic case studies for your agency. So it's one of the highest leverage skills you can possibly build. And if I was going to tell myself a year ago exactly what to do, it would be learn more advertising, research the hell out of Facebook and Google. So yeah, there's two options now, right? You said Facebook and Google. Those are my two favorite options for local business lead gen. The only exception that I've ever seen to run Google ads is for real estate right now. And that's personally what I do. And the reason I do that is because I have my own Google Ads system that I've developed. And again, the reason I can develop that for my agents is because I have tested it with many agents. I was split testing targeting. I was split testing creatives. I wouldn't be able to have the system in place if it wasn't for the testing and getting clients on board on performance, so then I can develop a great system. So that's the only reason I do Google, because I'm differentiating myself. A lot of realtors like that. If you want to do Facebook, I'd probably recommend you to do Facebook, actually. Like, this might seem hypocritical, but real estate Google Ads is probably the only thing I've ever seen, and it's because my system has been optimized so heavily, and I've got it to work. For anything like contractors, flooring, roofing, these whatever local business type businesses, Facebook works wonders. It's perfect. I wouldn't do anything other than Facebook. So my advice to you learning service delivery is go through my 70-minute video, first of all. That's just the most help I can give you for that. And then if you don't want to buy a course or anything like that, you want to spend money, that's completely fine. Go through every single free training on Facebook ads on Google. Sam Ovens has some, Hermose's talked about some. And then any other local business lead gen for Facebook ads, just research on YouTube as heavily as possible. And there's the theory part, and you can learn the theory part on YouTube. And then there's the application part where you actually get a client and you apply to your client. And the client part is going to take testing. And that's why you don't charge $5,000 up front for every client that you get. You charge a low setup fee and do everything on performance so that you're incentivized to deliver on your promises. So you're incentivized to learn Facebook. Because again, the better results you get them, the more you get paid in proportion to that. So that's why you need to test the hell out of all the ads that you run for your clients. So you have to try different angles. So it's the same idea worded differently. You need to try new creatives, which is a different photo on the ad. Maybe it's more pattern disrupting. It's a different color. It's different text color. Try that. Different copy. These are all just examples of trying different ad angles, testing, retargeting. Learn all of those things. One of the highest ROI things you can possibly do is that. Learning Facebook, or as an exception, learning Google. So again, if my past self saw this video a year ago when I started, I would have a full roadmap. So if you actually apply this stuff, I would promise you that you're going to do very well in SMA or in the agency game. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the stuff in here, I have a free community where I give you all those resources I mentioned in this video. It's literally completely for free. There's no 997 course I have to sell you with this video. Just literally go in that community, join, you'll get all the resources for free. Again, like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you guys. See you later. Bye.